You have to be able to receive the right of the way ribbon built you. Okay, we are live and back with The Witcher, The Long Road to Novigrad. Hello, everyone. Um, Before I reintroduce my players, because it's been a hot minute since we have last played, um, I am going to go on a tiny little rant, a tiny little rant that has some stay within the world of The Witcher as well. Um, and that is simply to say, the party are about to get into a fight with Nilfgaardians. Nilfgaardians are a invading force of an army. They are known to use civilians, take civilians from their homes, use them for their own gain, kill them if they have to, hang them for any known reason. The world of the Witcher's messed up. And it's fun that I get to throw my players into this combat where they get to kill them. Because not every day do you get to see, well, maybe every day in TTRPGs, but getting to fight, tyrannical forces is satisfying, especially when you've been hunting them for a session now. But that kind of goes into what's kind of happening in the real world, and in the sense that if you're watching my stream and you're watching my party kill these Nilfgaardians, fight this uh, antagonistic force, um, and you support some of the things going on in the world, like people legitimately being taken from their homes and, people getting shot for just trying to help people. Hey, man, maybe get out of my stream and go be a better human being. Don't watch my shit. I mean, I'll take your view because it's more, more for the algorithm and, more closer to me making money off of you. But also, just don't watch my stuff. Um, be a better person. Uh,
Yeah. And what's really funny about that is if like say if someone like that did engage with uh your channel or whatever, even if they're giving negative comments and being a dick, they're still actually affecting the algorithm to show more people your
that's
content. So
Interaction.
they're still
yeah,
helping you.
that's why I said, listen, I won't say no to your views, but like, if you're watching me and you're watching me send my party to fight these Nilfgaardians who have dragged people from their homes and, you know, thrown them to the noose, uh, and you genuinely support stuff like that, go. To not get me banned off Twitch, just go. Um, is the nicest way I can say
If
that.
you support the Nilfgaardians, shoot.
Yeah, exactly. But with that out of the way and that stance being said, I am your GM Pi. I will be running this here Witcher session and campaign for the foreseeable month or two. It's meant to be short. Uh, uh, but I'm your GM, and let's just go around in the circle and reintroduce yourself, reintroduce your character. Let's start with everyone's favorite fluffy red panda.
Hi, I'm RedPandaCola. You can find me on the internet, the same thing. Tonight I am playing Vidar of Yngvar, our singular Witcher, and yeah, looking forward to how this scuffle ends up going.
And let's see, one of our two mages. Who do I want to go to? Let's go to the man who spiked himself in the chest with his own spell the last session.
Hello, I'm Adrian, or at least 6113, which I go by on most of the tabletop stuff. My character is pronounced Cinead, which I think we've all struggled with. I made a fun name, or picked a fun name for him. But yeah, he's a mage. He's middle-aged, not super nice looking or anything like that, but he tries to stay undercover most of the time. People confuse him with a criminal potentially. But yeah, he's seen the atrocities that these soldiers have done, and he's looking for some vengeance on their behalf.
And last but not least, the ladies' man mage. Introduce yourself and your character.
Um, I, Averan. I'm 13th Rat King in most places. Combomancer on Twitch. Uh, yeah. Averan is a bit of a Earth and Spike and Pell and happy mage here to have a good time and we'll put a couple of pins and a couple of debates with a few Nifgardian soldiers.
And with introductions, we find ourselves back on the long road to Novigrad, believe it or not. Shocking, I know. Who would have thought? Um, but the three of you find yourselves on the road. Your merchant friend was just taken away by a group of Nilfgaardians. However, he handed off a little box to Vidar and told you that his contact within the city of Novigrad in a crooked building in the slums awaits this box and is asking you to deliver it. He handed this off to you before, again, being taken away by the Nilfgaardians for inspection, but leaving behind two soldiers. An older man, mid, I want to say maybe in his late 50s. He looks old. And a much younger soldier. Both are armored. They have outwardly visible. They are wearing heavy armor. One of them has the older man has a poleaxe, kind of like leaning against his shoulder. The other man has a crossbow out, and they're kind of each on the opposite ends of the road. So you guys are in the middle. The older man's here on the left. The younger man's on the right. And I believe it was the older man, I said it was, who I believe Vidar got the smell of uh, death on him, being able to recognize from the old corpses from the situation from the Wraith encounter that he was one of these soldiers responsible. Um, and they're kind of just watching you. They're just standing there watching your group. The older man says something in a language I don't think any of you can understand. The younger man, who kind of chuckles a little bit, they seem to be talking in their own language, um, a little bit back and forth to each other. Um, just watching the three of you, just kind of standing there, almost meant to be quote unquote an escort, but it's likely an intimidation thing of our guys just took your guy. We're gonna stand around here so you don't do anything. What would you like to do?
And he's gone. He's no longer in the scene.
They,
Or
your merchant and the rest of the guards have rounded a bend. They are no longer visible.
Mhm.
It's just the three of you and the two guards.
I don't actually remember. Did Vidar reveal that to us too? That these are the actual soldier or the actual soldier that um, basically took advantage of the girl who turned into the specter.
I think I've attempted to make a subtle reference. I don't remember if either one of you picked up on it, but
it's been a hot
I just
minute.
remember being out of character, so like it was the
Yeah.
desire to fight this guy. But in character, I
Yeah,
don't remember if Cinead would know or not.
I remember the end of last session, everyone being very, oh, we're gonna kill them so hard. With it having been, a hot minute since we last played, Vidar, if you wanted to, you could have definitely made reference to it, which I won't have the others roll for. It could be something as simple as like a head
Yeah.
nod or something. All of you know that the older man is a target.
Yeah, if anything, it's more of a tries to get at least one of their attention. Whoever has like line of sight is at least within able to pick up my emotions. Make a motion towards the older guy, and then a subtle motion in the direction of the houses where we dealt with those wraiths.
So, everyone's gonna look over and see our Witcher friend like doing like looks and like nods and like trying to communicate stuff, and he's gonna like look at him like what, like, and then just be like, I'm confused by this a little bit, and just be like, so what you trying to say? But but his lips don't move, as he's just gonna cast telepathy and be like, so like, what's going on? Like, what are you trying to like communicate here, buddy?
Okay, if they're able to communicate back and forth through this, he will make it very blatantly clear the older one had something to do with the reason why the wraiths exist.
Uh, so he conveys the thought that these Nilfgaardians had something to do with that.
Or at least the older
So
one did.
But
right.
this communication is just between the two of you. So you go ahead.
So the moment that like Averan's like, so what's going on? And then the thought, hey, this is the dude, like with the true telepathical meaning, like immediately I'm casting Earth and Spike. Targeting the older gentleman. I'm not even like not even giving them time to respond. So I'm just doing that. We'll roll my spell casting. Go roll 18.
18, and I believe this is a resist magic, correct?
No, it can only
I
be
think it is.
dodged or blocked.
Dodged or blocked. Okay.
Yep.
So,
I don't
let's
remember when
see.
it. I don't remember it having that or block option, but that's interesting.
Okay. They are going to try to dodge. So they have to beat an 18 as just a spike sprouts from the ground unexpectedly. No
Now, I also
additional
have a question.
mods. Yes.
Would would I'm definitely not telegraphing this, right?
Yes.
So, would it be at like somewhat of a disadvantage?
So I'm unsure if it works for spells. I think it is a melee thing. There is an ambush mechanic, but the way that works is due to the wording, I believe it's a melee thing because you have to sneak up on them, and then if they fail an awareness check against your stealth, you gain a bonus to them, a bonus to attack them, but that kind of
Oh,
reads like it's more of a melee thing than a spell thing.
right.
So I think no.
Okay.
Ooh, I gotta go old school. I'm gonna bust out my sticky notes for initiative. Forgot about that. So he's gonna roll his dodge. No additional modifiers. Oh, he
Nope.
fumbles. Let's see here.
So that would be a torso hit. He takes 13 damage
So he takes
from at least my end.
13 damage. I don't think there's any bad fumbles to this. Let's see.
I don't think there's any fumbles to dodging.
Yeah. So he's going to take
You just kind of like
13.
fall into it.
Yeah, 13 points of damage, and he is Stuckamundo, right?
Yep. The earthen spike has like 20 points of like hit points
Mm-hmm.
that need to be like dealt with before it can be removed.
Okay. Well, as the
He's like
earthen,
skewered now, right?
yeah, he's like stuck on the spike, and as that happens, and as we get into combat,
Actually, I was wrong, but I think you rolled a 1 on that, so you were fine anyway.
mm-hmm.
I see
Um,
reflex defending and a dodge escape is a reflex.
Okay. Perfect.
But you didn't get any major fumbles. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. It has been a hot minute. Where is initiative? I forget initiative.
Skills mod, quick roll button.
Yeah.
Button.
All right. So everyone, roll your inish.
Do we have any modifiers for this?
Because because technically it was an ambush, but you guys aren't getting the ambush like attack bonus. I will give you all a 2.
Yep.
So Cinead, your 16 turns into a 18. Averan, yours will turn into a 20. And then +2 for you, Vidar.
Nice.
Well, I added the
These
2
guys.
before I rolled, so that is a
Okay.
16.
Let me roll for my
Averan,
Nilfgaardian
Cinead, Vidar.
Inish. Okay, I'm gonna say the 10 will be the older Nilfgaardian.
It makes
When I
sense. I
spike,
wouldn't be very motivated to move very quickly either.
Yeah. What is your? This is how we're gonna do this. What is your dexterity, Vidar?
my dex is 10.
Okay, so you are going to beat out the younger Nilfgaardian and go before him.
Perfect.
I think I spelled their names wrong. Whatever. It's 2 A's instead of 1 and 2 I's.
Okay. Averin, you are up first. I don't think taking an ambush attack technically uses your attack. I think you just ambush and then have your turn. So you are up first. The older man, the older Nilfgaardian, is pierced by the earthen spike through his chest, but is still up, and the younger one is beginning to raise his crossbow. What would you like to do?
Is Averan or Cinead?
Averin.
Ever.
Right, we're starting from the top. Right. Okay. So I think I am going to attempt earthen spiking the other one.
Okay.
That way we can kind of lock this down a little bit.
All right, the younger soldier. Roll your spellcasting, please.
Okay. 31.
31. I don't think he's beating that, but he can certainly try. No. No, he
Nice.
won't.
He pretty much got half of what you had.
Yeah,
I was like,
23
bing,
damage.
got the first one, and then immediately was like, boom, got the other one. Like, no.
Both are impaled by
Okay,
these
so
spikes.
right, so that'll be 23 damage to the other Nilfgaardian, and I'm pretty sure that's my turn. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, Cinead. Both have been impaled.
Um, so the younger one has a crossbow, but he's now impaled.
Mm-hmm.
Can I like look back and forth really quick from Vidar to Averan? Because I don't know the backstory yet. So I'm just gonna step over to the guard and yank his crossbow out of his hands and turn it to point it
Okay.
at his face.
All right. Interesting. So I do believe that this is going to be like a contested thing. I need to find rules on that, or I'll just make something up on the fly for now. I think we'll do athletics versus athletics, but I'm gonna give him some severe penalties
Okay.
for you to grab his crossbow and turn it on him.
So when I click athletics, it's asking for basic roll, single strike, just basic, right?
Just basic.
Yep.
Okay.
Here's his roll.
Not good.
Nope. You go to grab his crossbow, and despite having this, piece of earth sticking out from his chest, that's really preventing much of his movement. He kind of like bats you away with it.
I'm downrange, so probably a little extra cautious. Can I do a spell as well, or no?
So I would consider that an action. If you want to cast a spell, it will be 1 point of stamina.
That's fine. I would kind of step back if I can tell he's coherent enough despite being shish kebabbed to like try to point it at me. I'll just step back aborting that, and I'll just snap my fingers, and I want to cast Cadfan's Grasp on the crossbow for all the metal parts.
Ooh, what does that do?
How do I post this spell? It's heat metal.
Allows you to superheat a metal item, making the holder drop the item or take 2d6 damage to the limb holding it. So do you want to damage him or make him drop it?
How to make him drop it. I imagine there's enough metal with the bolt release and framing components and the thing to make it.
The trigger guard.
Yeah, there's even though it's probably got wood in it as well.
Oh
I
wow, and
want to take his weapon away.
there's no
in
defense
this
to it
sense.
either. That's crazy. So you spend the 4 stamina to cast the spell.
Plus the
And
1, so
plus
5
the 1,
stamina,
so
right?
five stamina total. And the
Okay.
crossbow drops. Vidar.
Well,
It's not hard to tell.
considering the younger ones,
I was just say it's not hard to tell.
Good.
These Nilfgaardians are not going to last long.
no. So assuming I'm able to do that without wasting an action. The shield and a battle axe that he had will be coming out. He's not going to be using his Witcher blades on them. Doesn't see the point. So if anything, he's
new
gonna
special
go
Christmas gear. You can have them out already. No action needed.
perfect. So if anything, he's gonna go towards the younger one,
Mm-hmm.
or just to leave the others to deal with the older one if they want, because they. How do I word this? He's a Witcher. He doesn't. What they did was bad. Doesn't have that same level of emotional investment in it. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's cold.
So plus, if the other one had a crossbow, more than likely he's going to try to grab it. So it's better to close that gap. So he's just going to do that and make an attack
Okay.
first with a battle axe. Um, I
Oh,
think
that's the damage.
I'm going to do a strong strike for this because I can do that without any penalties.
All right.
You know what? I'll aim specifically for the head for this one.
Okay.
That is a 19.
19. I'm gonna give him some negatives to his dodge because he's impaled.
Uh-huh.
Nope. Um
Let me see if that hits on the table. You are trying to defend.
do you
Oh,
want
you're
me
lucky. No major fumble.
well, here's the fun thing. He did still roll horribly, very horribly even. And normally I would describe this, but because how bad he rolled, how does his head come off?
So that's a good question. Just because of the nature of an axe. If anything, it's probably like slightly angled just because of the way he has to swing it down. So it's probably just gonna cleave like from top here and probably take some of the jaw with it getting off as he decapitates them.
Brutal. Is it a like a you can see the tongue twitching as he kind of falls back type of decapitation?
Uh-huh.
Ugh,
And
brutal.
then as a follow-up, since that one's dealt with, and I assume the older one isn't far away from
Mm-mm.
them,
No, they're just on the other side of
he's
the
just gonna
road.
take his he's just gonna take his shield and kind of swing out towards the older one to hit him with it.
Okay.
Let me see if okay, that's a 9 damage. Let me actually do an attack. I think that's gonna be a basic melee. Um, I'm assuming this is gonna be a fast strike, so
That would make sense. And I will give him penalties for his dodge because again, impaled. So he's gonna roll a 13.
so first attack is actually an 18,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess the second one is an 8, and I miss, but it's a 1 on the table, so I don't have to worry about fumble.
All right.
So that'll be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. He is looking very hurt. The young soldier's dead, so it goes to the older man who is cursing at all of you again in a language you cannot understand. He does have his poleaxe in hand, which is very funny because it has long reach. Um, so he is going to try and swing the poleaxe. Uh, not to free himself, but rather to try and hit Vidar.
Okay. I will be blocking.
Mm-hmm. So, and I believe this is a staff/spear attack, so I'm going to roll that. He rolls a 18.
Okay, let me first see how blocking works. Apologies, we're going to be using the book a lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to come a time during any point of this game where we're not taking at least a minute or two to read the book.
Uh-huh. Let's see here.
You're just not
Okay, I
gonna
have
get
to
it.
roll a melee to negate the attack with a shield.
But there's also something about parrying as well, right? If you negate it while also using a shield.
Yeah, but it's at -3.
Hmm.
Let's see here.
Roll your weapon skill to negate an attack. Roll melee to negate an attack with a shield.
Yeah, I just have to roll melee.
Hmm.
And luckily I have a block option. Looks like that's a 14. I'm still gonna get hit.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you have before I hit target location and damage?
Trying to see here. Mostly just trying to see what the Okay, I guess my shield takes a point of damage, which I don't know what that would be reliability wise, so I gotta find that out first.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't think that was actually shown to me. Hold on.
You're good. I'm gonna roll the target location and damage in the meantime.
Yep.
So target location is your leg. If successful, your attack will deal half damage. So whatever is rolled will be half to you. I believe you also have leg armor, correct?
Yep.
So
I
that
do.
will be reduced by your something. Um,
So let's see here. Shield, the SP on that is 10. I believe that's the reliability, right?
yes.
Stopping power.
Yeah, stopping power.
So that's 10 damage
Mm-hmm.
absorbed by stopping power is 10 for the shield, which takes a point of damage. So that's going to be 9, back to 9. And then my leg armor also has a maximum stopping power of 5,
Okay.
although I didn't block it. So I guess I'm taking 5 damage.
Yes. So the swing of his poleaxe cuts through some of your armor, leaving a small little slice in your leg. That is going to be his turn, though, which brings us back up to Averan. What is Mr. Averan Glintlitter going to do? If he's there. Looks frozen in contemplation.
I think he is frozen.
Yep.
Uh-oh. That's no good. All right. While this gets sorted out, I'm gonna bring us to let's go to the break menu, break screen. We'll be back, folks. We have a frozen player, uh, but a moment before this Nilfgaardian dies.
Yep.
Okay, we are back after some minor technical difficulties, and I see Averan is casting Brand of Fire, huh?
Yeah, so I'm essentially creating a very phallic brand on this individual's left cheek. Beep, beep. Well, I guess there is a target, so beep.
Defense magical shield. I don't think
Oh geez.
Oh, that is.
I don't think he's got a shield.
Wait,
That do be a fumble though, and I do. There are magical fumble rolls. I don't know if you
Yeah.
added them, Panda. If that's in there.
I haven't, but I'm about to. So looks like it's under a 1 to 6 magical sparks, crackles, and you take 1 point of damage for every point you fumbled by, but the spell still goes off. So you fumbled by 3, so that's 3 points of damage, but you still cast a spell.
Okay, cool.
cool.
So 3 points of damage to you, Averan, as your own spell kind of sparks back into you, but it does go off. He does not have a magical shield. Um,
So yeah, so now he has a very detailed,
mhm.
fucking very veiny, cock and balls on the side of his fucking cheek.
Of course. Which is very funny to say that it kills him. The flaming
What a
dick
way to go!
brand, the flaming dick brand, um, killed the older Nilfgaardian. Leaving your group out of combat.
Cinead is gonna draw his dagger, and the younger guy is like chopped in half in his face.
Yep.
The other guy was probably like screaming, and then the screams stopped.
Yep.
But I don't know if he's actually dead or unconscious. So I'm gonna go over and just look at the others and grab the guy's head by the hair. Or if he's wearing a helmet, I'll just grab the helmet, lift it up, and just
Mm-hmm.
make sure.
And yeah, he is
I
dead.
mean,
What's up?
oh, I was just gonna say it's not like anyone's gonna help this guy off of this, but
Nope.
I just wanted some of the blood too.
I don't know. It would have been funnier to, make him live with a cock on his cheek for the rest of his life. But that's funny too. We're good. We're good. Everything's good.
The two Nilfgaardians are dead, leaving you all in this silence, making sure they're dead. The smell of a man's flesh being singed via a burning dick on his face in the air.
Everyone looks over to the other two and go, "Well, I'm not slated. I don't know about you guys. Do we go after the others or?"
Still have a test to be completed in Novigrad.
Well, they have the merchant, right?
I was instructed to continue on to bring this to somebody in Novigrad, and they'll kind of bring out the box to show it.
And it is a
What's in the
very
box?
it's a very simple looking, like almost like a cigar case size box. Wooden box. It doesn't look like anything fancy other than having a um almost a bit bigger than the box itself silver lock on the front of it.
You reckon there's jewels in there?
I'm not looking to find out.
These soldiers, they'll take what they want, kill who they want, burn what they want. The merchant's good as dead in their hands. This needs to go to Nilfgaard. What's so important about it? Maybe if it's just coin, we just...
It is clearly they found it more important than getting them out of their hands.
I'd like to take the crossbow that I did the heat metal spell on and just see if it's broken or not. Because if it's not, I'm going to take that.
I wouldn't say it's broken, but even if it was, the other soldier, the older man, also did have a crossbow.
Okay, I'll just take that then, because I only have my knife, and I'd like to add another weapon. I wouldn't mind having a look inside the box.
Crossbows on page 74 of the PDF.
As I'm retrieving this item, I'm like looking at Vidar, because it's in your possession, and I don't want to cross a Witcher, but it's probably pretty clear Cinead's morals are not anything.
Yeah. Vidar is just gonna stow it away. I'm sure we'll find out once we get there. But I'm sure we've left enough of a show for anyone who comes by. And we still have a Leshy at our backs. Perhaps it's time to get moving.
So before we like move out, Averan, like with the end of his staff, is like around where these bodies are at, where this like leftover scene we're leaving, right? He's carving into the ground a message that says, "Wow, these woods be wild, yo."
That's funny. Just leaving a message behind for any Nilfgaardians that return.
They have speak their own language, right?
Yes,
The
they.
Nilfgaardians, they have their own currency.
Mm-hmm.
Their coin's worthless.
You can loot them if you want to.
I would absolutely want to loot them, but I just don't know if it's the same currency. I feel like if I remember correctly, they use a different one, right?
Considering
Or is it just crowns?
they are kind of an invading force, and most people deal in crowns. They do have crowns.
Oh, okay, cool.
And if you loot each of them, you'll find a total of 25 crowns between the two of them. There's also enough bolts for you for the crossbow. There's about 20 bolts on the younger soldier.
Okay. So ammunition 20.
Mm-hmm. Anything else from?
Witcher.
Oh.
I think you're right. We should vacate this scene before the guards come back. But this creature that's hunting you, maybe the next thing we should do, just wait for it, and we set the ground rules and set a trap for it, lure it to us. I don't like being followed by something like that.
Remind me that was a job on the board in the past, right? Something
It
about
was
a creature in the woods.
it was a job on the board back in White Orchard, back in the very first session. You are a ways away from White Orchard, but you have, uncovered the fact that this isn't an ordinary lesson. There's something about it that has
Oh,
taken an interest in you and is moving out of its woods to actively follow and hunt you.
yeah, it is already dangerous, but this one's not following its normal behaviors. Perhaps it is for the best to deal with this lesson again. It's not acting as it normally would. Taking a look
I'll
around, what would be the best spot to, from my own knowledge and prior training, what would best be used to potentially set something of a lure to get it out at a more advantageous spot for us?
Hmm.
I mean, uh, out of character, I imagine that like one way to bait something that cares about the woods would be to start burning the woods, right?
You can roll Witcher training.
Will do. That's a 20.
20.
nice.
Now in character, there is some hold to that. You fuck with the woods, you get the thing that defends the woods. Because,
Yep.
Leshen do attack people, but they're also, worshipped as like woodland gods. If you go into their woods and begin messing with their woods, a Leshen is gonna come and get you. However,
Yeah.
again, this is no ordinary Leshen. This Leshen has already left its woods, its home woods, to follow you. So, burning the woods isn't the worst idea. Because if it's following you via the woods, via the trees. What better way to smoke it out than literally smoke it out?
Gotcha.
Um, you could also, depending on, now again, this is more knowledge for Leshens as a whole. Um,
Yeah.
Another good way to bait out a Leshen is to find its totems. You find a Leshen totem, you destroy it, that Leshen will come for you.
But if it's
But
followed
considering
us,
the
we're probably
fact
out of
that,
its
yeah,
territory.
Mm-hmm.
considering it's not behaving within its norm and is outside of its
Mhm.
territory, those totems wouldn't exist at this point.
Mm-hmm. So I think for 20.
Okay.
Yeah, for 20, the best thing I can say is burning the woods is definitely like smoking it out is genuinely like a solid option for something that is actively following you. Otherwise, I think maybe for Vidar, um, what he might call a rogue Leshen isn't maybe something that has been dealt with quite a lot. So there might be a bit
Yeah.
of, I have ideas, but the ideas are usually for a regular Leshen.
Yeah. Thinking about it and looking at our surroundings, because you're not looking to just set a forest fire,
Mm-hmm.
only because A, it's needlessly destructive. That's not. There's a means to an end when it comes to monster hunting, but in this case, that's a little too far. Um, are there any trees that are kind of on the border, but like offset enough where it's not about to just catch everything else? That makes sense.
Yeah. The
We don't have to
area,
catch the whole forest on fire,
Yeah,
just the
that's my
oldest
goal.
tree.
I think the area you're currently in is very dense. It is a dense wood. Um,
Yep.
so there's a lot
You
of
want me to roll
risk.
awareness?
Yeah, give me an awareness.
That's a 19.
19. Okay. The way I'm going to describe this is Vidar, you've been through these parts. Maybe long ago, but a witcher remembers. A witcher's like an elephant. A witcher remembers.
Mm-hmm.
The area you're currently in is fairly dense. You're in a dense wooded area. But not too far, maybe another day or two's journey. There's a location infamously known as the Hangman's Tree, which is a massive tree, massive oak tree,
Yep.
um, surrounded by some other smaller trees, um, that is dead set at the top of a hill with a field below it and a town a little ways away.
Gotcha.
So while your current situation might be if we set a fire, if I use Igni right now, we might burn everything. You do know of a location that is like that would get a signal going, if that makes sense. Like if you were to light
Yeah.
up any of the trees around the Hangman's Tree or the Hangman's Tree itself, not only would you be burning some of the wood, you would also almost have hometown advantage. You'd be at the top of a hill, you would be in a field, the Leshen would have
Mhm.
to come to you.
Yeah. So thinking about all this, having been silent just because he's trying to ponder all the options. Days out. There's a spot I believe we could use to draw it out that would fit our needs and give us an advantage.
I'm listening.
The name was the Hangman's Tree.
The Hangman's Tree. It is a gigantic oak that is infamously known to be, a famous spot where criminals and the like would be put to death. And it's not even a Nilfgaardian thing.
Yeah.
Just a generalized.
It's
Would
just
I know this?
I think
yeah,
if
it's
yeah,
their natural gallows.
yeah, I think if Vidar mentioned it to you, Cinead, and even Averan, it is a famous location within the region. It is, yeah, like Panda said, just a natural gallows.
This is it's the
Excuse me.
Hangman's Tree.
Oh, we should have said that earlier. If we go, this creature will go there and hunting for you, and we just set a trap. Is that the idea?
It's already following us. And this is an attempt. It's already acting outside of its norm. I can't guarantee how it reacts. but it's already been following us. If it had a territory, it's far beyond its norm.
Is there anything special to kill it besides fire? Would this work? And crossbow?
I'm going to give you this for your previous Witcher training roll.
Yep.
They are you would know that as Cinead takes out the crossbow that he took from the soldier and shows it off, Leshens are very armored. They are like, walking oak trees. They can be damaged by piercing and bludgeoning, but not a lot. They are very resistant to it. Most of the weaknesses that you know, Vidar, fire. They're made of wood. You would know that relict oil is good against them as a witcher. Dimiterium bombs are pretty good as well as moondust bombs and the Erden sign.
Gotcha.
So you know what you have. You know what Vidar, you know what you yourself
And
have that
plus
is
my own
good.
sword.
Yeah, plus your own weaponry. So you know what you have. You like, oh yeah, I'm a witcher. I'm built for this. And then you look at Cinead going, is this good? And you think to yourself, shit. or no, you don't think to yourself shit. You think to yourself, why do I messed up? You think to yourself, fuck.
Yeah.
It's a Witcher for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find that it's going to do less than you expect it to. If you have a means to set it on fire, use it.
That was my instinct, given it's a forest creature.
Which
I have my means. However, I would suggest you two keep a distance.
And I'm sure hearing
for the sake of. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm sure hearing if you have fire, use it. Averan's ears, pipe up to that, being the fire guy.
Sounds like we've got a plan.
Yes. I think once we lure it out, I will lure it towards me. I have another effective means to deal with it. That's why I need you to stay at a distance.
Averan looks over at our Witcher friend and asks a simple question. This Lichen creature that you say that is a problem, does it require its vision to do a lot of stuff? Just wondering.
I think you would find most creatures require sight. However,
Well,
how 20 would I know if it's like dependent on whatever it uses for eyes, quote unquote, or is it kind of like more of an embodiment of whatever form it takes and it just sees anyway?
So it does fight. It does need sight to fight. Leshens do have their own eyes, if you will, but
Yep.
don't mind me as I just double check as I Google Leshen Witcher.
I was about to say, wasn't
Yes, they do have
Making a
eyes.
reference, but wasn't it what he fought in like the first episode of Leshen?
Yeah, The Witcher.
Just when he was fighting
The
some tree creature.
The Witcher show does a bastardized version of Election. And I think it's in season 2.
Yeah,
Um, it's a very
gotcha.
bastardized version, and it's a shame. Leshens do have eyes, not in the traditional sense, because their heads are mostly animal skulls, but they do see. Um,
Yeah.
when in combat, they can see you. They also are known to. They can see through their animals. You know, when a Leshen sends a flock of crows after you, if you don't see the Leshen sees you because it's seen through the crows. So in combat, they
Yep.
do require eyesight, but they also have other means of eyesight.
Gotcha. However, you will find quickly if there's any creatures nearby it will have a means of seeing anyway.
Indeed. But do you surmise that in a moment such as combat, if we were to draw it out, mind you, um, all those critters would be looking us?
Theory.
Okay. Well, whenever we get to this location and we desire this, I figure I should stand behind you two, and you guys should face away from me. Is all I'm gonna say. Or code word: look away from me.
Flashbang.
Medieval flashbang. Do you guys
And
know the meme real
how
quick?
many days is it gonna?
Just real quick. You guys know the meme "Think Fast, Chuckle Nuts." That's all I'm thinking right now. You know, medieval
Uh-huh.
flashbang from
Yeah.
Averan. It's been about you've been on the road. I believe I said when you left White Orchard, you were on the road for at least a day or two. And then you fought the wolves. You know, you fought you fought some wolves, took a rest, fought the wraiths, got back on the road, and
And that's where we're at now,
I
basically.
believe this is where we're at now, so I want to call this day 4 or 5, and it is I'm gonna call it midday. Sun's not setting yet, but it is midday.
Are we still with the bodies, or have we moved on at this point?
That is up to you. Have you guys been walking and
say
talking, or
I would say that we're probably traveling at this point
That's
because
what I would assume
Okay.
too.
just in case other Nilfgaardians would be in the area for whatever
Yeah,
reason,
we don't want to be caught
don't
at the
want to
scene.
be kind of like right there.
Mhm.
Because
Well, that I also figure while we're like trying to scheme together a like some type of plan on how we're gonna engage this lesson. We're trying to like walk and make noise and like muffle our like whispering schemes, because like every squirrel and bird could overhear what
With
the fuck we're trying to talk about. So like,
spy around every bush.
matter of fact, I feel like some of our plans are being done through telepathy.
Can you do a three-way telepathy?
I mean, I could cast it over time repeatedly.
But where all three can connect, or would you be the link between?
I
I think it would
would.
have to be the link between.
I think I think Averin would have to be the link between. But you know, if you're talking telepathy, Vidar can say something to Averin, and then Averin can convey it to Cinead, and vice versa.
Hmm.
So like Vidar
Yep.
can talk to Averin via telepathy, but can't talk to Cinead via telepathy. But if Vidar says something to Averin, Averin can say it to Cinead. So all three of you are connected. You just can't intermingle talk with each other.
yeah, but just for the sake of making it less confusing. We're just gonna have the
Yeah,
discussion.
Yeah,
Go
that's
yeah.
what Cinead is gonna
It's
do
like
too. Just whisper.
yeah, you guys
Like
can
we're playing
easily just talk.
telephone, but
Mhm. It's like playing a Wookiee
Um,
in Star Wars FFG. You need a translator to talk to your friends. You're still gonna talk to your friends, even if
uh-huh,
you don't have
uh-huh. Know that from experience.
it.
oh my gosh. Um, I wanted to test something when we're on the road, but I don't know if it's gonna break the crossbow. But I wanted to do the Cadfan's Grasp spell on one of the bolts
Hmm.
and just shoot it right away and see if it can have that percentage chance of igniting something.
Sure, roll a D100.
Do it in here. 83, and I'll deduct 4 stamina.
What are you firing at?
Just a tree, something that we could put out
Mhm.
pretty quick if we needed to.
Okay.
I just want to test to see if it will break the crossbow.
You
Wait, are you
cast.
like heating the bolt and then shooting the bolt?
Yeah, because I don't think I can cast a spell once it's in flight. Even though it's got a range of 8 meters, I don't think I can pull that off under duress.
You heat up the bolt, you heat up the crossbow, and fire it, and this superheated
Well,
bolt.
I don't want to heat the crossbow. I only want to
Yeah,
heat the bolt.
this superheated bolt goes. Well, you can part of the final the final bit of the spell is you can heat up weapons to instead deal extra damage. So you can ig- quote unquote ignite the crossbow, but it's igniting the ammo. Um, you fire this superheated bolt at a nearby tree, and it does begin to burn the tree. Flames begin to kind of trickle a little bit.
Okay. I want to go stamp it out because we're not trying to have the
Mhm.
fight right here. But that's
Suddenly, a
that's good
lesson.
to know. Cool.
uh, while he's doing that, along the way, are there like any banners or anything along the road?
To like signify armies or groups.
Unlikely enough guardians, but yeah.
Okay. Roll me an awareness.
15
How long is a round again?
I think it's the
The
same.
10
seconds.
seconds?
Yeah.
6 seconds?
Yeah.
So it's a D6 time for that arrow. So that's what I needed to know.
So 15, and you're looking out for like specifically like army banners and like
Just cloth
signify.
banners or anything.
Okay.
Basically anything that's made of cloth that might be around.
Okay. Um. Yeah. I mean, considering that you are in quote unquote Nilfgaardian territory, um, I'll say while you're walking, you do pass another tree that has a noose on it. No one's in it. But there is like a stake nearby with a cloth banner of Nilfgaard.
Gotcha. He'll just casually meander in that direction. Still kind of like do an arc of where he's going towards it, enough to just grab it and rip it off
Mhm.
and keep moving and rejoin them.
Okay.
A bit of kindling won't hurt.
It's it's moments like that that I'm glad I said it was a Nilfgaardian banner. You know, fuel the flame of the hatred. Is there anything Averan is looking
In all
for?
fairness, you said it was Nilfgaardian.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, no, that's why I'm glad.
You
Like
said it was Nilfgaardian. He just grabbed whatever was flammable.
Is there anything for Averin while on the road? Are you keeping your eye out for anything? Are you wanting to try to do anything?
I mean, I'm definitely keeping my eye out, but like, more just like, in a hurry to get to where we're going so that we
Mhm.
can, do the thing.
Mhm.
Do you want me to do like an awareness or something, or?
Well, is there anything in particular you're keeping an eye out for, or just like a general, just paying attention to your surroundings?
Generally just trying to pay attention to my surroundings, trying to see if we maybe have a lot of like critters following us, or
Mhm.
making sure that
Lots of
we're not like
company.
walking into a Nilfgaardian ambush along the road
Mhm.
or something.
All right, roll me an awareness.
Okay, just a sec. I'm not great at these. 15.
15. I'm gonna say with you guys being on the road, you guys are continuously walking. It is getting later. The sun is, it's beginning to get darker, amplified just by being in these dark woods. Um, there's still enough light to see, but you will probably need to camp soon. Um, you don't see anyone
We're not
following
close
you.
enough to the tree.
You are a few days out from the Hangman's
Mm.
Tree. Um,
Okay.
Averin, you don't see any critters. You don't see any wolves following you, which was a previous sign of the Leshen. You don't see any Nilfgaardians other than, the banner that Vidar once tore down. There are footprints in the mud dirt road that you're walking, but you don't see anyone in front of you. Um but as you're walking, maybe 30 minutes into kind of your just listening, watching everything, as it kind of gets a bit darker, you hear something very faint in the distance. And I'm talking far distance, like as if something is echoing in your direction. And it almost sounds like screaming. Like a man screaming.
Like fear or distress?
Like
I mean, like out of distress or out of like rage? Like, does it seem
Or
like it's like
torturous
combat or
pain.
right?
My first
fear.
thought is more of the.
A fear type scream.
Okay.
But you can't make out.
Direction did you say it was coming in?
Averin would hear directly ahead of you, like, but far. It sounds like it's being echoed far. That Averin, you're able to like catch it as you hear It's not anywhere seemingly near you because you're not able to make out exactly what's being yelled, but you hear, like the faint "Ah" in the distance, like the very quietest sound of a scream.
Yeah. Everyone will like look back at the rest of the party. Y'all hear that too?
And the two of
I
you
listen
can
Do
to
I?
give
my.
me the two of you give me an awareness with a +2 bonus. Whoa.
That's 20.
Whoa. So,
I will. I will
mhm,
offer to like have someone jump up on my horse with me so we can ride faster if we need to go investigate this.
mm. As the two of you kind of maybe
Realistically, probably Averan.
as the two of you kind of take this moment, standing there listening in, both of you definitely hear it. Um, it's definitely like an echo of screaming. Like it is being carried through the trees. The screaming is being carried on the wind. Um, I will say for the 34 from Cinead, um, you definitely can ride. If you were to hurry, you can get there. But with how far it sounds, you would be arriving with the moon above you. It would be a night. It would be directly in the night. Um, the wind is carrying these screams, and as the two of you, listen in and really take stock of this, you now hear multiple screams, multiple yells are being carried on the wind. You catch a you hear one scream being carried is like, "What is that thing?" Another screaming, "Kill it!" Uh, there seem to be a whole mess of
It's not good.
multiple voices being carried on the wind as some sort of fight is happening, but not in the favor of those who scream. As you hear a scream, it gets cut out. You hear another man screaming, it gets cut off. Whatever's happening is happening fast, is happening far, and is happening violently.
I think I'd stop and look at the others. Whatever's out there, it's decimating the village or outpost, whatever's ahead. That doesn't sound. It's like something maybe we can deal with. At least not in time to save anyone. I can maybe fit one person on the horse, but there's 3 of us.
So, listening to everything, is there any other sounds other than the sound of combat and or screaming people that I might hear? Like, is it just humans? Well, question mark that we're hearing, or is there something else like that might also give me an idea of what they might be fighting?
That is an amazing question, my friend. And I'm glad you asked it. Because yes, there is. Cinead will also hear it, but it's going to be a situation where Vidar, you being a Witcher, you are able to hone in on that specific sound and then are able to tell Cinead, like, listen to this. You hear the sound of twisting and cracking and breaking wood. You know when you hear the bark of a tree creaking and cracking?
Uh
You
huh.
you're hearing that in between the screams.
It's an evil end.
Would that
Which
sound familiar to what I think it might be?
to Vidar, an evil ent, better known as a god of the woods or a Leshen.
Mm-hmm.
It is now ahead of you,
Roughly
seemingly.
how far out? I was supposed to say how far out is it from us at this moment?
The screams are being carried on the wind.
Yep.
If you were to jump onto Cinead's horse, there's a chance you could arrive in time, but like I said, the moon would be above you. You would be well into the start of the night and
Yep.
may be at a disadvantage. So if you were to if you were to hoof it, no pun intended, you could make it to the site of whatever's happening, but it would be in the dark.
Is there a way to arrange it so we're all able to ride?
I don't.
Or
Which
would
is
that...
funny because if I have two situations, one, I have a ride of 6. So I was like, let's just rip a board off of like a fence post, tie it to
Yeah.
a fucking rope, and then tie it to the fucking horse, and then like I'll try riding on that, which is dumb but funny.
Dude, you're gonna water ski, skateboard, whatever
Right.
behind us. We just
And
charge it.
the second, like my brain trying to find like some type of video game like glitch is like, so me and you ride. I hand my staff to our Witcher friend who holds it tightly, and when I summon staff later, then hopefully the Witcher will be summoned with.
That's so funny. Like stand on his shield and like
Which, yeah, the
Hmm.
the two options, at least in the mind of a Witcher, I'm gonna explain this via Vidar, the mind of a Witcher, your Witcher training. The options are you either
Mm-hmm.
you can make it to the scene, you can get there. Likelihood of only 2 of you making it there. Or you let whatever's happening happen and you wait till morning.
Well, and to rationalize it, more than likely, if anything is running into a lichen right now, and like we're hearing that much like turmoil from that lichen
carnage.
encounter, it's probably Nilfgaardian soldiers or whatever that were like disrespecting the forest or whatever and drew its ire.
There's no way to really tell if it's Nilfgaardian soldiers or not.
Nope.
It is just
Um,
screaming.
It's really unsettling to Cinead, but he is going to vote we stay together and play it a little bit safer. He is a selfish person, and he doesn't want to needlessly like have people get slaughtered, but better them than him.
um, let's see here. I guess the best question I could ask, given I had taken a Nilfgaardian banner, how frequently were we coming across these banners along the road?
It
Like signs
wasn't
of
it wasn't very often. Most you might have come across maybe 1 or 2 along the road. Most of the signage of the Nilfgaardians that you would have seen definitely would have been at sites of, gallows or makeshift gallows. Um, they don't. The Nilfgaardians don't have 100% of a foothold in the region, so you wouldn't have come across a lot, but you definitely would have, other than the one you've ripped down, you definitely would have previously come across maybe 1 or 2 other signage and signatures of the Nilfgaardians.
okay, I guess could I roll a deduction to figure out if the likelihood that what is fighting what is more than likely this lesson is in fact normal people or Nilfgaardians. Not that it would really affect his decision any.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, a more just determine
How
what
guilty
we
you
might.
feel about?
I wouldn't even go that far.
Yeah, roll. You can roll a deduction.
17.
17. It sounds to be more quote unquote regular people. They're screaming in common. They're screaming. You know, the shouts you hear are in a language you understand. Um, you do know that bandits aren't, you know, all too uncommon on these roads. Um,
Yep.
so whether it's you think it's more likely just common bandits or common people rather than Nilfgaardians, unless the very
Yeah.
slim likelihood that these Nilfgaardians are scared so shitless that they have lost their their home tongue.
Their accents and language, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty scared though. So I mean, they are dealing with a lesson. I wouldn't put it past them.
But a 17 does more point towards these are common people or bandits.
Yeah. Keeping that in mind. We continue with our original plan. If we try to rush in, we're going to be more at a disadvantage. And we're just going to more than likely end up in just as bad a situation.
Well, one counterpoint. If it finishes up there and wanders back this way, can it smell us? It's hunting us, right? What if it's past midnight and we're all sleeping, even with a watch? Nighttime, anything out there is going to have the advantage on us. Can only create so much fire. Like, is it going to find us?
It has kept its distance for now. And it seems to have targeted those less prepared to deal with its kind.
Well, I prefer to fight it in daylight. So if we can camp here, near here, find a safer spot, I'll take one of the watches. I'm sure it's going to be the worst sleep I've ever had.
It is what it is.
I assume you're.
I just had this image of us trying to like make a camp and like settling down. We're like starting a fire. We're like, oh yeah, at least we'll be warm. And then it starts just pouring rain. We can't even get it started. Like,
Makes me want to look at my gear. What gear do I have? I have a bedroll and no tent.
I won't do that to you guys. You have enough tree cover to be semi-protected from rain. You are able to find a suitable site, I'll say. No matter where you camp, there's going to be trees around you. There's going to be the fear of something coming at us. But you can set up a camp and find your rest, which I believe I'll have to I'll have to go back and check the rules, but I do believe you get your stamina back at most.
I think stamina comes back at the end of every battle.
It's like
Automatic.
Yes.
It's a minutes thing instead
That's
of a day thing.
correct. Stamina does come back at the end of every battle. And health, I believe, is a rest thing. I think healing is actually pretty difficult in The Witcher. Healing over time, you
I don't
can do
think any of us
first
got hurt.
aid. While resting, you must not do anything too strenuous. You only okay, so if you take resting heals half of your recovery skill per day, or your recovery stat per day. Vidar did take a stab to his leg in the combat. So if you do take your
Oh, that's right.
rest, you
And
will.
my
Heal.
magic kind of.
Oh yeah, the magic did backfire. So you'll heal half of your recovery per day. So at end of the rest.
Yep.
And I believe being a witcher, you can kind of just meditate and be on alert throughout the entire night.
Yep.
So Cinead,
If
you
you want me
can.
to roll that skill, because that is a skill I am trained in specifically,
Yes.
meditation.
Yeah. And Cinead, you can also roll your awareness.
That would be 12.
So while we're at camp for the night, um, Averan's gonna at some point, like, next to the fire, like light one of his candles, set it down next to him, light his pipe, do a little bit of like, smoking of his tobacco a little bit, and then when it doesn't seem like things are gonna be crazy, he's going to reach into his like rucksack and pull out his telecommunicator and his map. And he's gonna like take a look around on his map for any marked nearby like mage like nearby like mage schools, or what do you call those, like universities or whatever, or like towns or anything like that, or location that like in the rough area that might have a telecommunicator going. And he is going to use his telecommunication ritual to try and acquire some news from the local area.
Okay. Okay.
That's so cool.
Very, very interesting. There is indeed a mage school. It is far. It is very far from you. Uh, but you are still able to contact. Let me just make sure I'm getting the correct city here. Yes.
But yeah, he's definitely gonna be communicating stuff like how they've ran into Nilfgaardians in the location and stuff like that, confirming their presences. I'm definitely asking for any information about the local area that they might know, or any news of their area, since we're like we're far, but we're not that far, right? Like,
you contact the Oxenfurt Academy. And I'll say, yeah, you maybe get on, the horn with one of the professors who answers you. They tell you that they do, they are informed about the Nilfgaardian presence, and they do tell you that the area you're in and traveling through definitely has a heightened presence of them. They have some outposts on some of the rivers that might need crossing. If you at all mention that you're on the path to Novigrad, they do inform you that the city is currently in lockdown, and you need a like a they're not called recommendation papers, but like you need a paper to be able to enter through the gates. You need to show the
Travel
guards
permits or something.
Yeah, like
Letter
a
of
permit.
recommendation, that type of thing.
Exactly. You need permits to enter the city of Novigrad while it is under lockdown. they do warn you. They do warn you, being a mage, contacting them via telecommunication, that the Church of the Eternal Flame and the Witch Hunters are very interested in mages. And
Okay, thank you.
in a way that says, if you're going to Novigrad, don't get caught.
Yeah, be on the DL. You're right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll like put my hand over the telecommunicator, like that's how it fucking works, right? And then I'll, I'll look over to the to the Witcher and be like, hey, I'm talking to Oxford. Do you want me to like ask them some questions about this Lichen? Like, is maybe they might know something. I don't know.
Cinead is very interested. He's trying not to like be too close to you. He's giving you space, but if it's like I'm like a mage that's like learned in like bandit camp, and you're like a mage apparently that's gone to school and knows like the
Oh,
universities
right,
and stuff. So I'm like,
right. Also, so not to interrupt.
go
You
ahead.
might have noticed that Averan gave them a different name. When they like are like, oh, who are you? He did not tell them Averin. He like told them some other name that did sound like a legitimate name, but was not his.
I don't even know if Cinead would notice that. Maybe I should roll, but I think just you doing a spell, have never seen this spell before. It's like a telephone. It's like
And
to Cinead. Um,
I will say both of you
go ahead.
do know the Academy of Oxenfurt. Lots of studies are done there: astronomy, medicine, herbology. All faculties of alchemy. Um, Vidar specifically. You definitely would have heard tales of one Geralt of Rivia having, at one point in time, attended some of the lectures there at the university. So,
To answer the question, he'll shake his head just because. How far away do I know the Oxenford is the name of the?
Oxenfurt, Oxenfurt. Oxenfurt is, let me get a map. Let me get a map. You look at this map. Oxenfurt actually is only about maybe a day's ride from the Hanged Man's Tree.
So about a day and a half away.
Yeah.
So in that case, then, yeah, I think he'll actually give a nod instead because
When he nods, like Avrin's not even gonna hesitate. He just goes, "Oh, okay, here you go," and hands him the telecommunicator.
to which he'll just take it, get a look of or just to make it simple, ask questions about anything they heard about a, for lack of better terminology, rogue lesson.
Okay.
And like while that's happening, he will also lean over and be like, "Also, would you possibly maybe be able to like send someone to like that location, the Hangman's Tree, to possibly assist us with such a thing?"
for that specifically, I am going to ask for a persuasion, which I see you do not have points in. But I think you can still roll skills you don't have
I
points in.
oh, I was looking
For
at
me,
human
no.
perception for a moment, but I was like, where is my persuasion?
It's above seduction.
Wait, who do you want to
Averan, who's
roll
asking
persuasion?
for.
Yeah.
Averan is going to roll for having asked, hey, can you also send someone with supplies?
Yeah.
Oh, where did you say that was at? Persuasion?
It is above seduction. It is in empathy.
Empathy. Okay. Oh, okay. God damn. God, maybe I should like do it in a winky tone voice. I'll give you a little favy fave. Okay. 12. Yeah.
12. Um, 12, you're gonna get a we can't spare any of our stuff right now. Um, but Vidar, you will get in response what will essentially boil down to is Leshens are smart. Leshens are smart creatures. For one to break its woods and go rogue, whoever its target is, they've definitely marked it for some reason. They don't like whatever, they're hunting, and they want it dead. That is usually
Gotcha.
most cases, at least with a Leshen. There have been records of other rogue creatures like rogue griffins or manticores, but those are more a beast came into my territory and now I have to fly to find other roosts. And so now I'm out of my natural territory. But for a smart and
Oh,
intelligent creature like a Leshen, there's a reason. They say without any more information, we can't really deduce. We wouldn't really be able to tell you right now. But if a Leshen has left its woods and left its totems behind, there's some reason for it. It is not just an unnatural occurrence.
gotcha.
And they definitely make emphasis on someone likely has been marked.
Hearing that, what I know what that would look like if that is the case.
Give me a Witcher trait.
Also, because I'm eavesdropping,
Mhm.
can I think of my own history of how I can do if I've done anything that I can think of that would have pissed off a lesson?
21.
uh, sure. Roll me a What would you roll here?
No, self-awareness,
A deduction.
deduction. Yeah,
Yeah, I could take deduction.
I just want to
Should
see
we all roll a deduction,
if
or
I'm the one who
Yeah,
caused
sure.
it.
You can also roll a deduction, Averin.
I don't think I did, but maybe I did.
I deduct that it wasn't me. I spend all my time at drunken bars. I'm joking.
Just gonna do something real quick. Don't mind me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Vidar. He's a Witcher. It probably has an innate hatred of Witchers.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just reading some stuff. No big deal.
In hatred.
Okay. Vidar,
Yep.
I will say that you do know the you would know the mark of a lesson.
Okay.
And I think this is a thing in the game as well. I'm blanking on what it would be, but you would know the mark. Um, it's not on Cinead. Averan, you don't think it's on you. I mean, you've seduced many of beasts before, but not a lesson that you can recall. Um,
Yeah, maybe it was that night hag that one time. No, I'm joking.
um, Vidar, as you kind of tune in with your Witcher senses and your Witcher training, um, it's less of a physical thing because you haven't had a direct encounter with the Leshen. But there's definitely something in the air over you.
Gotcha.
I can feel it.
Killing in the
the
air
air tonight.
tonight. Um, and I'm even gonna tie it into one of your little background things. If you saw me snooping, um, you previously. And I'm gonna open life
Yep.
events just to read it again. You previously were run afoul by a group of criminals. You had mostly forgotten them. They were long forgotten till now. But you were still semi-connected with them. You're semi-connected with this group of bandits. Eventually having turned on you. That later in your life learned were killed in a monster attack. And whether fortunate or unfortunate for you, you have stumbled upon that exact same monster. Almost in a what's the what's that horror movie where they pass the curse on to each other and they see a creature, a monster walking at them slowly? It's almost like that. This Leshen killed this group of bandits that you were once with, or once not with, but you know what I'm trying to say. That eventually turned on you, and seemingly the mark of the Leshen that killed them, with you being in the region once more, has been passed to you, and now it's looking to finish the job.
Gotcha. So, having heard what this scholar said, he hands back the item to Averan, and as he's thinking over everything, and just fuck. Well, I know who they're after, so this might be easier to draw it out than we thought.
Oh, well, if we know who it's after, maybe we can use that person as bait. No, I'm joking.
Just remember to close your eyes when the flashbang goes off.
As you
Oh,
go,
go ahead.
uh, I was just going to go into a little descriptor, but if you want to give the party more information before I go into my descriptor, be my guest.
Honestly, forgotten about this. This back when I was much younger, just starting off as a whelp. There's this stupid group of bandits that decided to cheat me out of some rounds. Ellen ran foul of them. Found out 50 years later that they ended up getting wiped out by some kind of creature. By some strange twist of fate. This happens to be the creature.
So it is your fault. I'm relieved. Thought chopping some firewood might have been the cause.
Fault is a bit strong, but sure. It's at least latched onto me.
So
Like I said,
this, we kill it.
drawing
No
it
more
out will be a lot easier.
When he says that it's latched onto him, he like Averan like kind of looks like he's like trying to look behind his back or whatever.
Not literally.
I had to be sure.
I think you would be quite aware if it was literally.
Well, with all
Regardless,
this,
we have a
I mean,
plan.
that's fair. I've never seen one before, so I don't know really how big it gets.
you heard the sounds of the
Oh, count
branches.
yourself in luck. We'll
Yeah,
find out
yeah.
very soon.
Vidar, they are much bigger than humans.
Oh, if we're going to face it, probably tonight or tomorrow. What I won't give for some beer. Pull
And
out my water skin and just take some water.
as you pull out
Also,
your,
as a
Mhm.
side, just something I found out. Actually, healing when resting, as long as we're not doing anything too strenuous, we get our full recovery score.
Oh, full recovery. Okay. So then,
Yeah,
as
I had posted the actual thing in
in the
healing
chat.
over time. Characters begin healing health points naturally over time. If someone makes either healing hands or a first aid rolled for them, they regain a number of HP equal to their recovery stat per day of rest. While resting, you must not do anything too strenuous. If you spend a lot of time running around, doing work, or fighting, you only heal half of your recovery per day.
Oh, okay. Well then, perfect. Because as Cinead, you take your water skin, you begin drinking, taking sips, and the lot of you begin to plan out your path to draw out the Leshen into a final skirmish. Um, whatever happens on the road ahead of you lies there in the morning. The screams eventually die down as you all sit by the fire. You do not hear any animals. You do not hear any birds. There's a Leshen in the area. There's a Leshen controlling them. It is a quiet, eerie night of rest. But rest does come. You are able to heal. And before we end here for tonight, like a TV show, the camera's going to cut from the party and it's going to go down the road. It's going to go towards a town, small town that can see this large tree with multiple nooses hanging from it. And outside of this town, there's a man. A man walking in the direction of the hangman's tree. They have this cadence and look of they know where they're going. They know what lies ahead in front of them. They know what awaits them. They seem determined in the direction they're moving. That direction being directly towards the party. And that is where we will end for tonight. And meet back up in February with our very first guest player. So we will see what happens then. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to move us to our ending soon screen and let the music play while I debrief with my players. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching. We will be back on February 11th with our first guest player, like I said. So see you all then.
We have to be told to receive the right